It's Lil Baby.
Welcome to episode 54 of Conversations with Chai. I'm your host, Ihram Chowdhury, aka Lil Baby Ram Ram. And today I got Desi Trill's, Young Sammy's in the building.
Let's go. It's Yung Sammy.
Yo,
Thanks
brother,
for having me, bro.
No, bro, appreciate you doing
Yeah.
this. I was telling you earlier, I think it's like crazy because y'all in New York for like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
And I was like,
quick.
it's
quick
crazy that you came here, you did On the Radar, you did Hot 97, and then
Mhm.
like you here at Conversations with Chai, and that mean
Mm.
like a lot to me, right? So
sure.
I want to give you those like absolute gratitude.
Mhm.
You, Dan, Shabz out there,
Desi
right?
Trill.
Yeah, Desi Trill, like everybody for making this happen, right? Because to me, like I was like, that's amazing, right?
Yeah.
How's it been though? Like, as like somebody who's like just like a fan of
Mhm.
like New York culture, like you doing. How was like the experience at like Hot On the Radar? Like, what did you kind of like feel?
So like, see, man, people have been asking me this, and it's something. It's only me. Like, I'm not that type of person to express a lot, but honestly, this is like, it's a dream. There's some dreams that you think of, but you don't really, like, really try to think that maybe it might happen. You just like have it in mind, but it's like it's not possible. But this is something happening. I'm just trying to sink in. But by God's grace, I just thank God and Desi Trill for sure, for making this happen and being part of home of hip hop. I
No.
never thought I'm gonna be part of, especially Hot 97, the people, the DJs that were there, the artists I met there. I was like, damn, is it me standing right here right now? So it's just great. It's a great feeling.
No, I was telling you earlier, like some of the
Mm.
people, some of the DJs that like you're meeting,
Mhm.
it's like, like as somebody who's like from here, grown up around like this culture,
Mhm.
like those to me, it's like, it's crazy
Yeah.
that like somebody I know through
Mhm.
like our culture, right? Desi
Mhm.
Trill,
Mm.
right? All that at Hot 97, just like meeting those folks, right? And
Exactly.
having that. You ever like sit, are you in the place? Because obviously you're still in like go mode, right? Like you're still
Exactly.
working,
Yeah.
right? You ever like sit and think about like, how crazy it is that like where you are?
That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes I just sit down, like, is it me? Like all these things at once. How it could have been someone else. It could have been someone else, but I just thank God that this is happening, and I'm sure many more to come as well.
I think your story is insane, right? And I'm sure that like, I hope that like, down the line we get like a Young Sammy doc because the story is crazy, right? Like I know
Yeah.
like you talk about it like a lot, but I
Mhm.
think just like so like we got a different audience, right? Just so they
Mm.
know, right? Like
Mm.
from Nigeria,
Yeah.
moved to India.
Yeah.
How old?
I was around 6 or 7. If
Moved
I'm
to
not
India
wrong.
at 6.
Yeah.
Decides because of a fan of hip hop, right?
Mhm.
Not to just rap it like English rap. No,
Yeah.
rap in
Hindi.
Hindi, right?
Punjabi. Yeah.
Rap in Hindi, rap in Punjabi.
Yeah.
And then build out a career. Like again, like we don't got to get into the details, but it's going to be such an insane story, bro.
Yeah. So it's just like when I came with my family, I was a kid, 6, as I told you. My dad is a priest, and my background had nothing to do with music at all. Even me, I never thought of, being a rapper or maybe sitting here next to you, talk as a rapper. I was just like, my background is different. I'm from a very religious home. My dad is a priest. My mom is supporting my dad. And, from going to church almost every day, very prayerful home. Never had any background of hip hop or rap or something. I knew about like Eminem, Tupac. I knew about English hip hop and all those things. But I was just like a listener. Never thought of being a rapper or something like that. But time kept passing on, and I was still in the verge of getting the language. I was not learning the language just because of being a rapper or something. I was just schooling there, my friends and everything, getting to know the language and all.
Is this Hindi would be your second language, correct? At that time,
Second as in?
like you're like learning it, like you already know English.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, so you already know English. So like you're learning Hindi as a second
Yeah,
language.
I was just
Okay.
learning Hindi because I was studying in India, and Hindi is part of the subject
Mhm.
I'm to learn. It's compulsory.
Yeah.
So I was not even trying to learn it as well, to be very honest. I was just there doing my thing. I remember there's this day in school back then. My parents, I was still a kid. My parents went to school and tried to tell the principal that can we remove that Hindi subject because I was having some problems in writing and the exams and all. So I still remember them saying it's not possible. It's the main language, so they cannot cut it off. So I kept doing my thing, trying my best to, learn that language. And my friends, obviously, I made a lot of friends. And I love the culture, though. I love the culture and my friends and everything. So with time, I didn't even know when I just started speaking it like, fluently and all. So that's it, though.
It's crazy though,
Mm,
bro, because like as like a rapper, like you went from like struggling with the new language
mm,
to complete mastery of it.
mm,
Like to, you know what I'm saying? Like even like outside of like the music aspect of it,
mm,
right? Just to
exactly.
take a language that you're learning for the first time and then in a few years having full mastery of it,
Mm-hmm,
where it's like I'm going to start like putting words together and
mm,
rhyming and putting them in schemes
mm-hmm.
to create art, right? It's
Yeah.
insane, I think,
I
right?
think
And
it's
like,
God gift, man.
huh? It
Yeah.
truly is, right? How like let me ask you this. Like when did you start realizing like, yo, I'm nice? I was asking people that. It's like, yo, when do you like look up and be like, you know what? I've been doing this for a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
yo, am I nice? Like,
So yeah, like the good question though. I remember the first track I wrote. I've been writing, since around 7 to 8 years now. I've been writing, but I was not. There's a point of time when you're starting, you don't believe in what you write. Like I was like, "Ah, this is rubbish. Just cut it off." I was just writing myself because
yeah.
I was following this Yo Yo Honey Singh, the first Hindi rap track I heard. So after that, I was like, this is interesting. Like I didn't knew that there's rap and all those things in Hindi as well. I was like, this is very interesting. I knew Hindi, so I tried to start writing myself. And then I remember dropping this track. It's been long. I don't even remember the time though. I dropped it on Facebook that time, and I was like, this is not bad. This is something I wrote myself, and I'm just starting, and it's not bad. And it got good views, and a lot of people were like, this is crazy. Then after that, I started doing some, back then, we were so excited, me and my friends, like, they were also rappers. We were so excited in doing opening shows and all. Like, no one knew us then, so we are just opening shows and everything. So when I used to go on stage, so seeing me, as a black guy, they'll be like, "He's about to rap in English," and then I start spitting in Hindi. The reaction is like, "Damn!" Like they start shouting and all those things. So that's when I started saying that this is
I
something
got
good.
motion.
Yeah,
I got motion.
I
He's like, yo,
guess.
I got motion. No, no,
Yeah.
no. Yo, I think that's so, it has to be flat. Cause like, yo, I was shocked.
Hmm,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
hmm,
like Shabz introed you like to me like almost a year ago, right? And like I was shocked,
hmm,
right? I was expecting, I was like, oh, he's probably gonna like blend it here and there, right?
hmm,
And he'll call himself a Hindi
hmm,
rapper, right? But I'm like, no, no, no,
hmm.
full,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Like you actually just do the opposite of what I was thinking. Like you actually just like sprinkle in the English,
Yeah, yeah.
right, for it to time, and then but the rest of it is just, yo, I was listening to, damn, what is you and Urban the Poet, what song am I
Urban
thinking?
poet,
Huh?
4x4.
Yo,
Mm,
crazy.
mhm,
Yeah, I was gonna ask you like where does, because we were talking about it off mic, right? But like the culture, obviously, like India has its own hip hop culture, right?
mhm,
But a lot of your music, when I listen to it, feels like it has a lot of like a little bit of drill,
mhm,
right? Like it has like that drill culture, like the
mhm,
New York drill sound a little bit.
mhm.
Where are you pulling sounds from?
So basically,
Like
my
where's your taste palette, I guess, like musically?
I guess I feel like doing something. I love experimenting different sounds, because I one of the favorite artists is Pop Smoke, drill. That
I'm
was my
so glad you said
main
that.
focus.
Yeah.
Like I listen like Pop Smoke is number one every time. So drill obviously. So I was still the time I was listening to Pop Smoke, I was so motivated with drill tracks and everything. So I started doing my. I was good at drill. The main that's where I started, I guess. So after that, I felt that I could do different things as well. Like I'm good in trap as well. I mean, commercial music, any type. It's just about the flow and like what you're trying to portray through your music. So for me, it's just like music, and I love tackling all sides so that's what I feel.
I think that's gonna happen like naturally, like as you, especially like even as you like travel more,
Hmm,
right? Like you're gonna start picking up on like sounds,
hmm.
culture, like
Exactly.
like the energy from that place like a
Exactly,
little bit, right?
exactly.
Like I'm sure like now coming back from New York, like you got like more like inspirational fuel.
Yeah.
Right? Like I think like that's like the part of like as like creatives, like when you are in like work mode, like you gotta
Mhm.
remember the life stuff is like the
Exactly.
it's
That
like the
really happens.
fuel,
Yeah.
right?
But there's this track we cooked yesterday in the studio, me and RMS, and
Oh, you got
it was
together with RMS?
yeah,
My
yeah.
boy.
So that track, I love the sound, man. Like respect to RMS. The sound, the when I got the hook, Dan sent it to me, and I was like, damn, I need to. But it was like I already know what I'm about to do. So that sound was obviously fresh sound of this place, and obviously me bringing that Indian vocals on it and all those things. So it's a blend of two sides. So it's a global track. I feel like it's something. So that's what I feel it's supposed to be. Music is global, so
Yo, I
mm.
should this is I'm an idiot. I should have known that y'all were gonna do that because I'm so glad. I was like
Oh,
on the walk over here, I was
mm,
thinking I was like, yo, I hope like Sammy's like recording with like some of
mm,
like the New York heads that are moving, right? But of
mm,
course, right?
mm.
Amazing fucking management over there, right?
Yeah.
Like got that shit on point because I was like, yo, that's fire.
Yeah.
Cause like yo, like that's how like this like thing globally to me when I think about it, like grows,
Mm,
right? I think about like real connecting of like markets, right?
mhm,
Like I didn't even know that you were still in Delhi,
mhm,
right? Like so I think it's insane, right? Like you got like the Delhi to UK connection going, right? And now
mhm.
you building out like the
Yeah.
y'all from to New York, right? And
Mm,
hopefully it just continues to like connect.
mm.
Then we get Toronto,
Yeah.
then we
Yeah.
get LA, and then it creates like
Mm,
a global
mhm.
South Asian diaspora market.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yo, that's so fly. No, bro.
Mm,
Yo, in terms of like, I know like, cause I know people probably when you come up and do other platforms, I'm sure they ask about like the background and like the challenges, and I'm sure that there's challenges, right? But I want to ask you, like, yo, from like a culture thing, cause you really grew up in India.
mhm.
You got top 5 Bollywood movies,
Yeah. I love Three Idiots. I don't know if you've
of course,
Three Idiots.
classic.
And obviously, if you're going back, Sholay. I love Sholay.
Oh, you went back. Oh, you really?
Yeah.
I
No,
mean, you really from the culture that it's like, yo, I haven't even watched
yeah.
it.
Sholay is very well,
Yeah.
it's one of the movie like even in Nigeria, people still watch it till date. Sholay.
Really?
Yeah. My dad loves his favorite actor is Amitabh Bachchan. So Sholay is there. And there's this movie I love, Race 3. It's Saif Ali Khan is on it.
Yeah.
Race 3. And even the first race as well. Like it's just Race, not part 2 and 3 was later on. But Race 3 is one of my favorite movie.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there are many movies I've been there since childhood. There's this movie as well, RRR. I don't know if you
Nah,
know.
that one I haven't seen. That was
Yeah,
recent though, right?
yeah. Recent, like kind of recent, like 2 years back.
Yeah.
And Animal, my favorite
Yo,
movie.
that one was actually really crazy.
Yeah,
I thought Animal was insane.
yeah.
Like, I'm actually really excited that, like, again, I know people had like pushback on like the
Mm,
goriness of it, but I'm like,
mm.
yo, that's the type of movie it really
Yeah,
is.
yeah. Animal is crazy.
Yeah, they just like lead into that. But
Mm,
yo, in terms of like, yo, like culture, right? Like, I always like describe like how would you now describe like where? Because now I always say that like you go from consuming culture
mm-hmm,
to starting to move culture, right?
mm-hmm,
So when you think about like your vision for like your career or just how you want to move like the
mm,
cultural movement of Delhi hip hop and just like hip hop in general,
mm.
how does that look like to you?
Like so you're asking in my like where I see myself or you're generally?
Where you see yourself?
I feel like by God's grace, like I'm assigned to Desi Trill and the vision of Desi Trill and me part of Desi Trill as well is exactly what I feel it's needed in Indian hip hop, or you might say not only hip hop, Indian music exactly. Like taking Indian sound global is one of the main vision of Desi Trill, and that's a dream for me as well. Because if you're talking about like 3 years or 4 years back, I still remember hip hop was not that like it was not that important for listeners. I remember still with my friend, like for example, just giving an instance, me, I was still in college then. Like maybe I'm rolling with my friends in the car or something. And if I was, as a rapper, you love listening to more raps and you love make people to listen to that as well. So I remember me playing a lot of hip hop tracks and they'll say like, let's stop this, man. Just we need something groovy and all those things. They don't love that rap, hard rap and all. But today is different. in India, if most colleges, we're talking about colleges, we're talking about festivals, they prefer rappers now. Like not really. Like I mean, that side is coming out as well. Like hip hop is more respected now in India, which is a great thing too. A lot of things are involved, and I feel it's growing. Hip hop is growing in India.
Do you think that like in terms of like who like you talked about like the colleges, like who's like bumping, like what of hip hop are they bumping?
The artist, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, Hanuman Kind,
Okay.
but like that's recent. Before that, even now, presently, See Them Out is there. There's this two artists, See Them Out, they're crazy, and Krishna, obviously, and there are many more on the ground rap. Raga is a
Yeah,
great,
right.
great, great artist as well. So yeah, this are one of the like underground artists, rappers, hip hop.
Do people like like your audience, your fans, right? Do you see that their interest also lies in hip hop like globally too? Like
Obviously,
they're like listening to like
obviously.
UK,
Yeah,
US.
yeah. Well, many of them. Central C is all over India, like Central C, and obviously like the mainstream of US 21, Kanye, like that's in India fully.
Do you have like a top 5 like rapper?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pop Smoke,
Is your one?
number one every time till that.
I'm so
Pop
glad you said
Smoke.
that. I was like listening to your I was telling you I was listening to your music on the way and I was like,
Mm.
damn, I hear a lot of like that New York drill pop
Yeah.
sound, right? All right, so you got pop at 1.
I love Central C as well.
Central C is 2?
Yeah, and from India, like I love what Karan Aujla is doing as well. Yeah. And Kendrick for sure.
You put in Kendrick in your top 5?
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure. And fifth one, I'll say fifth one will go to um uh like melodies wise, it's not hip hop. I feel Diljit melodies. I love what
Yeah.
Diljit is doing as well.
I think it's hard to not put Diljit in any, like
Mm.
you're talking about like a global sound, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
globally.
global sound, like his sound is like one that it's like it really permeates like every
Exactly.
single
Yeah.
audience, right? Like as like a fan, like I'm excited for like how that music like evolves,
Mm.
right? Because like we see like hip hop has been now around long enough to hear a wide spectrum of like sounds,
Yeah,
and that's from like a very like Western market, right?
exactly.
But what happens on like the global like
Mhm.
music scale in terms of like global hip hop,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because what Hanuman Kind is doing with like Big Dogs is essentially global hip
Yeah,
hop,
for sure. For sure.
right? Nah, it's crazy. Like outside of I'm assuming like that like your core fans, right? Delhi, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
London,
You mean where
like
the
like
fans? For
yeah,
now, I feel like it's still growing.
hmm
My side, I feel it's still family thing is growing. So I feel obviously Delhi is there, and parts of India they're still growing. And my focus is to build it up by God's grace. So let's see. There's still a long way to go.
yeah.
So
Describe the rapper lifestyle in Delhi. Like, is it like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it like how it is like over here? Like, cause you're like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
yo, you're a Delhi legend.
lifestyle. See, it's not the same, honestly.
Yeah.
It's not the same because I feel the industry of hip hop in India is just like I just mentioned, like 3 years back, is growing.
Mhm.
So earlier it was not really that in the terms of if you're talking about the lifestyle the rappers are living here, you can't really compare it over there. Like they're more of like they're living it the way normal people live it.
Who
Like
live their life.
they don't have that much I would say privilege or
Okay.
something, or maybe it's a wrong word. But yeah, it's still like they're doing their thing, like doing it the way it should. Except if we're talking about those top Badshah,
Yo, Honey
Honey
Sings, your
Singh,
bad
that
Avachas, yeah.
those are the ones who have been been there for long, and now they can obviously live that life. But yeah, they're doing their thing though.
Nah, I think a lot of it is like, yo, like when you're
Mm,
trying to build it out, like obviously like with Desi Trill, and I always
mm,
tell like them like how big that is,
mm,
right? It's like it's a lot of it is building out infrastructure and building out like partnerships, right?
mhm,
Building out like relationships too, right?
mhm.
Like you coming out here, like meeting with like the hot, like because again,
Exactly,
when the music needs to go global, like you need to have DJs in New York that are gonna like spin this
exactly,
on radio or
exactly,
put people onto it, right?
exactly.
Like it's the only way to truly extend it. And I'm glad that like you're personally like building those
Mm,
relationships,
mm,
right?
yeah.
Because they have to like fall with like the person
Mm-hmm.
behind the music too,
True,
right?
true.
Like they have to like again, like that's why I always say like your story is gonna be crazy,
Mm-hmm.
right? And like I know like again, like it's such like a big part of like who you are.
Mm-hmm.
What are your what does your dad now think about it? Faster, like
Yeah, like before, I was not that bold enough to tell them that I'm rapping or something like that. They knew that I love listening to like raps and all. They knew I was into that, but they didn't know that I would just come up one day and say, "Yo, I'm rapping, I'm writing, I'm a rapper," and all those things. Even when I met Honey Singh in 2012, my dad knew that I love Honey Singh. I used to listen to his track. I introduced, like, I was like, see, this is Honey Singh and everything. Well, because even through my dad, I met him. I happened to meet him 2012.
that video is crazy.
Yeah.
That video is crazy because like again, like Dan told me about that. I was like, really? And then I like literally just googled
Yeah.
Sammy first thing that came up, and I was like,
Yeah.
yo, that's insane because that was what 12 years ago, 13 years ago,
2012, yeah. 12 years
2012,
ago.
right?
Yeah.
12 years ago,
Mm.
right? And now and then you have a sound. Is that why the song Brown Wrong?
Yeah, I love that's the first Hindi rap song I heard. Honey Singh. That's how I discovered Honey Singh from
And then you
Brown
flipped
Rum.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fire. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fire. I love like I love that as a part of the story.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. Like and now, like yo, like as you like build out your career, is there a relationship there with Yo Yo?
Yeah, recently, like there's one day I was just I uploaded a reel which went viral on IG, and then Honey Singh randomly just followed me. I saw, damn, I was like, I just woke up. The first thing Yo Yo Honey Singh followed you. I was like, damn, is this happening right now? Then I said, if he followed me, it's possible he texted me as well. So I checked it. He texted me, said, "Hello, kid, what's up?" And then I spoke to him. And then there's one day randomly, I remember I was just on a call with Shabz, and because I told Shabz that Honey Singh followed me and all, so I said, okay, we'll try to do something ahead. So Shabz just told me that hit Honey Singh up on call. And it was just random. Like we were just speaking, and it was like, it's time you should hit Honey Singh up. And I just hung up the call to text him, and I just saw two messages from Yo Yo Honey Singh. I was like, damn, Shabs was just talking about this just just 2 minutes ago. I was in the car with my friend, Urban Poet, and then I saw I clicked it. Honey Singh asked me, like, are you free tonight? Come up to the studio. I was like, damn, Shabs, I just called Shabs right back and I said, you were just saying I should hit him up. I just saw his message right now. He's calling me to the studio. Like, wow, I don't know how that happened because we haven't even talked about anything about, like, let's say 2 3 weeks before that. It was just random, and then I went to the studio and he played some tracks. He played one beat for me as well. Like he was like, I should hop on this. And then recently I met him in London as well when he was shooting his millionaire video. So I met him there, and yeah.
Yeah, that
So,
what you're describing right there,
mhm.
right, is what I call like that's when I really see God in the universe.
That's why I always
That
say it's God's grace.
that's when I really see God in the universe, right?
Mm.
When those moments like that where it's like such like a coincidence,
Mm.
serendipity, whatever,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
It really feels like God's hand in that moment, right?
Exactly.
Where like I look up and I'm like, I literally keep a thing on my phone
Mm.
of a bunch of those moments
Mhm.
that I've like noticed, right?
Mm.
Like where I've said something and then like a year later
Mm.
I did it, right? Like we were talking about like Kahani earlier, right?
Mm.
I have an email, like I like literally was just searching through my email. I'm like,
Mm.
I'm emailing Kahani now. And I just searched his name on my Google thing to
Mm.
find the email.
Mm.
I emailed Kahani in 2020
Mm.
wanting to work for him.
Okay.
Right? Like I hit him, I was like, he posted some position. I was like,
Mm.
yo, like 2020.
Mm.
And I'm like, it's crazy. 4 years later, like,
Mm.
you know what I'm saying? Like I'm sitting like backstage with Kahani
Crazy.
conducting an interview before one of his like biggest
Crazy.
shows.
Crazy.
Right? Like,
Crazy.
and you have to think like in that moment, what else is that but God?
Mm.
Because
Mm.
how the fuck did that happen?
Yeah, bro. Like it's just believe, and I feel that every time, like I always have this in the back of my mind that like God is just pushing everything. Like every time, if you ask me, sometime when people ask me how are you feeling, I don't know. I just say I'm great, but I know deep down I'm still sinking everything that's happening, because I remember before I was signed to Desi Trill, just like 10 days before that, I was like, I told my friends and I told myself I'm stopping rap. Like I'm not rapping anymore. I don't know. I was just like because I remember like 3 4 years I've been just pushing it, like fearing that my parents should not get to know. I'm pushing it myself as far I could, and I was just doing my thing. Not really, nothing was happening. And then MTV also is a platform in India. Is a great platform of this. It's a TV show for rappers,
Mm.
so it's a great opportunity to be there. And then they reached out to me that I should be part of it. I cleared all the auditions. Like it was going on for like 3 months. You know, I cleared all the auditions, and that was the time I told my parents because if I don't tell them, I have to move to another state. So
Mm.
they obviously will know. So there was no other option. I told them that this is the thing, this is it, and I'm about to do this. And if I do this, this can happen and all those things. So they were supportive to it. Go ahead, all the best. I was preparing for it for like good 3 months, making the tracks, everything. And they confirmed it that I'm about to go. And then later on, because of some issues, when it was just 2 days for me to travel to Mumbai for the shooting to start for the TV show, they cancel out my name, like just because there was a rule that only Indian citizens can be part of it.
Mm.
And I've been doing it for 3 months. Like you could have told me the first day
Before, yeah.
or whatever, but God knows what happened. But I know now what happened. It was great for me that I was not part of it. It was just God's plan. Because if I had gone there, I would have signed the papers and I wouldn't be able to, I wouldn't be probably, I wouldn't be here. Then when it got cancelled, I was not able to tell my parents that because mom and dad were happy about it. Like I'm going there, I'm gonna be on a national TV and all. My dad usually asked me like during that time, he used to ask me, "When are you going? When is the shoot?" I was not bold enough to tell them because it's the only
It got
opportunity I
canceled.
got. It's the only opportunity I got to tell them that I'm rapping. And then no, I'm not going again. After 3 months of working, like they probably would have told me just leave it or maybe just focus on your studies and all those things. I was just scared. I couldn't face them. Every morning, I just wake up, leave house, come back in the night when they're asleep. I was not able to face them, for good 10 days. And randomly, one day Shabz just hit me up and the rest is history.
History.
So I just usually think, even my friends, they remind me of this, that look at this today. Y- I was like devastated and all, like, damn, I just missed the opportunity. But I didn't know that God had a plan. Like, God wanted me to leave that and choose a bigger platform. And it's happening.
You can like we're so mortal in
Mm,
comparison to like the universe, right? We're so
exactly.
small compared to like God, right?
Mm, mm,
That we're only able to really see it in
mm,
hindsight.
mm,
What like
exactly.
and when you can then visualize it
Mm,
forward, like what could God do? Like if God got me here
mm,
from there, what can he do from here to there, right? Because I don't
exactly.
know what I can do. Like that's like
Mm,
a lot of the times, like when I think about like faith, like
mm,
I have a moving relationship with like
mm,
God and like the universe, right?
mm, mm,
And anytime I like realize that like I truly have faith
mm.
is that when I don't know, I like literally just like let it up
Mm,
to like
mm.
God. Cause
That's the
like
best thing.
cause I don't know. Like
Mm,
I don't have an answer. Like
that's
I used to
true.
be like real arrogant. Like I still feel like, oh, I got an answer
Mm,
for this. Like, like
mm,
I'm smart, I could do this, right?
mm,
And like sometimes like you like look up and you're like, damn, I just
mm.
have no fucking
That's
idea.
true.
Right? Like, and I'm like trusting a better hand than mine.
Mm.
Right?
It's all God, man.
Yeah, because then who
I
else
just
could you know what I'm
appreciate.
saying? Like you couldn't
Exactly.
have even like the way that you envision. I always talk to people like who again like have gone through that.
Mm,
It's
mm.
like what you envisioned for your ascension probably was not the way that it went down,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
But it worked out
Exactly.
in such a more
Yeah. Like
beautiful
God,
way.
it's just like God knows better than us. Like, and we should just have faith on Him because me as a human being, I was like, why did He do this to me? Like, this was my best opportunity I've been working for. Like, I remember making tracks daily, sending it to those team to 5 a.m. in the morning, going back home in the morning. And before, my parents were not really allowing that. I mean, staying late out night and all. But just because of that preparation, I was out five. All those things were like, I was like, damn, why me?
Hmm.
And then now I know why me, it's God. So it does what it pleases him.
Yeah, no, bro.
Mm.
That in itself is like so beautiful because like I love I always tell people like these conversations are always
Mm.
so good for me, right?
Exactly.
Like as
Same.
somebody who's still like building out because it's like
Mm.
it's important as like a reminder,
Mm.
especially like we were talking about it, like we're like still in like work mode, right? Like no
Mm.
matter how far you've came,
Mm.
still in like work mode, right? And it's like
Exactly.
important to like remember and appreciate God in
Mm.
those moments where it's like,
Mm.
yo, like although I want more things and other things,
Mhm.
like I gotta be grateful for what it is, right?
Yeah.
Like I gotta be grateful for the conversations. I
No
gotta be grateful
complaints.
for
Yeah.
the ability to do this, right?
Mm.
Sit next to you on, you know what I'm saying? Like it's
For
like
sure.
I think about it. I think about it. I'm like, yo, like the things,
Mm.
the way that I describe my life now, if I described it to like 13-year-old me, I'd
Mm.
be like, damn, that's a cool ass life.
Yeah.
But it's
That's
tough in the
true.
moment because you have all the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like young me just only knew the good things, right?
That's
Like
true.
again, like you know what I'm saying? Like when you're young, yeah, I'm sure like when you're coming up, you're thinking about like jewelry, cars, like all that. You're not thinking about, yo, I gotta work, I gotta travel from thing, but that's a part of it.
That's true. That's true.
Like it's important to like remember, like it's like, yo,
Mm.
like you if you want that, right? There's
Mm.
always things that come with it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right? Beauty and dichotomy of like life,
Mhm.
right? You got you know, I was gonna hit Dan and be like, yo, like y'all trying any good food spots in New York? Or are
Mhm.
trying?
Mhm. Um. Recently, like it's just 2 3 days, and we have been packed up, so we have not really gotten chance to.
You do like New York do you do New York pizza?
Yeah, we had pizza.
Okay, okay,
Like
okay,
I
okay,
guess
okay.
day before yesterday, we
Uh,
had pizza.
what you guys got?
Crazy.
What you guys got?
I don't really know the name because we were just like we were just about to go for the on the radar thing, and we all like let's just quickly grab something. So I guess the guy Ro that was taking us, he just dropped somewhere. I didn't say the name because we were in a haste though.
How does the on the radar experience like work? So like you're performing like one song and it's coming out, or like how does it like how did you guys approach it, right?
So it's 2 tracks,
Okay.
one of my unreleased tracks, which you get to hear very soon, and one track I prepared the track like before I came, so
You
for
you in
especially.
you in album mode right now? Like you making like you working on like a specific like album, or you putting out just like
So
singles?
basically, I'm just working on a lot of songs,
Okay.
and like we have this a lot of tracks, about to get released. So we're like still deciding though, like, but yeah, there'll be features, there'll be collabs, there'll be um album for sure in future. Not
Yeah.
really planned about album yet, but yeah, we have a lot of tracks on the plate. Yeah, so
As like I'm asking you like now like as like an artist, right? If
mm,
there are like things that like you're trying to like push towards like creative like consciously in like the next like 6 months, 3 months,
yeah, like
year.
for me personally, I'm just trying to do like try to experiment every side of myself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like as you mentioned earlier, drill, either it's a sad song, it's trap or whatever. I'm trying to do everything, melodic, everything, Afro, like different type of stuff, with obviously in my style, the way I do it. So I'm trying to collab with great artists as well, and did some as well, and some very soon.
Are
So yeah.
you conscious like I always like because again like when you're trying to create something,
Mm-hmm.
there's a balance between like consuming other people's right and then creating your own right. Like
Mm-hmm.
how are you like listening to like music like because you're always like working on it. Are you
Mm-hmm.
also like listening all the time as well?
Yeah, sometimes about writer's block, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes sometimes I don't listen to some song. Like it's a different way for everyone. I've heard a lot of artists giving their ways, but mine is like if sometimes I might be out of touch with music. Honestly, there's a good 1 week I've not listened to song except maybe some songs popping on reels or something like that. But like there's sometimes I need good 3 days, and I might just choose like one artist, maybe someone random, like, and I just listen to that particular artist, and then get back on myself.
Tough.
So it's like that, like nowadays, and like days goes on, and I've been seeing new thing as well. Like I've noticing like before, I don't know much about tracks producing. I mean,
Hmm.
getting tracks of music. I just leave that on the producer.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. But nowadays, before it was only ideas on flows and writings. But nowadays, I've discovered something new. Like when I'm in the studio with my producer, I normally have ideas with the beat as well, how it's supposed to be, the structure, and like all those things are growing day by day as well. So I love that part as well. Like it's interesting, deciding the beat, how it's supposed. I don't know anything about it, but just how it's supposed to sound, or maybe ideas like telling him to add some synth, add this, add that. So I guess it's a new music doesn't have any barrier. It's up and up.
Bro, I love to hear you say that, right? Because that
Mm,
shows me as like an artist, like you're still like growing,
exactly.
right? Because like the progression of like again, like you may not know like the
Mm,
technical production, right?
mm,
But it's like yo, being able to say that because
mm.
that it's like learning a skill set, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I always think about like because like creatives we kind of get like lazy,
Mm-hmm.
one trick ponies, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
we could do one thing, we do it really well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's like oh okay, I can just do this.
Mm,
But like how you grow
mm.
as an entertainer, whether it's a rapper,
Exactly.
podcaster, creative,
Mm,
right? Is I'm upping my skill.
mm,
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always think about that for like even like podcasting, right? Like, I'll be
mm,
like, yo, like I can have one type of interview and that's cool.
mm.
But if I just run that same type of interview,
Yeah,
who cares?
exactly.
Right? Like, yeah, I need to consistently upskill.
Something
Like, I need to be
different.
able to do a journalistic one. I need to be able to
Exactly.
do an entertaining one. I
Mm,
need to be able to do a chill
mm.
one. Like, you need more of that,
Exactly.
right? And
Exactly.
as a musician, right?
Mm,
Especially, right? It's like
mm.
you need to be able to
Yeah,
control.
you need to do experiment different areas as well. Even if someone is a drill rapper, you cannot keep the whole career, the whole catalog can't be just drill. You need to go different sides, or maybe even, for example, you're like collabing with someone, feature you. It's possible I might be a drill rapper, and maybe someone who is trying to collab with me, the track is totally different. So you need to know how to go ahead with that as well.
Yo, that's such a good example because from a
Mm,
pragmatic perspective,
mm,
how do you grow your audience if you're not able to
exactly.
go over there,
Mm,
right? Like if I can't go over there and try that,
mm,
like how am I going to grow my audience, right? Like
exactly.
again, like if you can only rap on like Indian hip hop beats, right?
Hmm.
Then how do you move across to the
That's
UK?
true. That's true.
Like you see that on like a larger scale too, right? Like
Mm,
if Drake went to like gigs and them, right, and
mm,
tried to do like KMT, but like couldn't hop on that flow,
mm.
you're not growing that audience.
That's true.
That's honestly what makes
Yeah,
Drake
that's true.
incredible in that sense, right? It's like it. I know people clown him for being able to do it,
Mm,
but that like chameleon, like where I could go anywhere
mm.
and I could be great at that thing,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Like I could be great at that thing,
Mm,
and like because like again, like I think we'll see it more culturally, like regionally, UK,
mm,
it already, right? But on
mm.
a global South Asian level, those sounds are they're gonna have unique
Yeah,
sounds.
exactly. Exactly.
Like
For sure.
Toronto South Asian hip hop definitely sounds different than New York South Asian hip
Mm-hmm.
hop, right?
Like, for example, like I've been for long now. I've been, obviously in that Indian space and in the studio. And yesterday when I heard the track, the hook of RMS, I
Yeah.
was so excited. Like I was like, it's. I just want to do something for a long time now. I wanted to do something on such things like this, such tracks. So I was so excited to just get in the studio and lay something down. And eventually we had something great. I wish I could just play it now.
No,
I'm
yeah.
just excited, for that track because it's a different flow. Like big ups to RMS. Like it's a different flow. On
Bro,
that
he's
track. And
different.
yeah,
He's
exactly.
different. Like, yo, I hate giving these guys their flowers because I like
Mm,
know them and I
mhm,
see them, but like, yo, I've probably definitely told RMS this, but that dude is an
mm.
alien. Like some like
Honestly, when Dan, I first heard the track, then Dan sent me the lyrics, and the way he was laying down, it's just different, man. Like respect. I couldn't really. I told him, great, but like this is the time I'm explaining how that track felt for me.
bro, I'm so excited because like
Mm,
I think hey, your sound is so different,
mhm,
right? And like, bro, RMS is like a alien.
mhm,
Like sometimes like I like catch him like as like a hip hop fan. I love when I can look at something South Asian and hip hop
mm,
and be like, oh, it's not good as a South Asian hip hop thing. It's just good
mm,
for hip hop,
mm,
right? Like sometimes I'll listen to like RMS and I'm like, yo, as just like a hip hop fan, like that flow is just different,
mm.
right? Your flow is just different. Like
Yeah.
you're hitting pockets that like I'm like, what the fuck?
His melody.
It's like his melodies, his
Mm,
pockets, his like runs.
mhm,
I'm like, oh, like you like do this music thing for real.
mhm,
Like I was talking to my girl yesterday. I was like, yo, there's some people that are just so like in their musical spirit,
mm.
right? Like you see it in dancers, you see it in rappers, right?
Yeah.
That are just they're aliens, bro. They're
Mhm.
just in this creative pocket
That's true.
that's just like, yo, their shit is just different.
Exactly.
Like and you see it and you're like, oh, it stands
Mhm.
out, right?
Mhm.
Like, nah, big ups to RMS, bro.
Yeah.
Like that dude is and like I think like a big thing that I like really appreciate about like Desi Trill and RMS, right? Like I think a lot of it I was thinking about things from like the business angle of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think having amazing content is so like obviously it's so important,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
And I think like the way that you guys do it, right? Like are building. I love seeing it, right? Because I'm like, oh, this is like what real infrastructure like looks like. This is what like a real team looks like. That's like good at what they do. Like obviously
Exactly.
like Shabz, Dan, like everyone's like good at what they do.
That's the best part. Like what I love about the team is that like I've seen how some labels in India, like not ditching dissing anyone, but like it's all about business. But the team is like, Shabs, where he comes from is hip hop, Thai hip hop, Dan hip hop, but the way they relate, like to me exactly, like to the artists as well. I've seen that just like family, like just they directly talk to you that this is how it's supposed to be, and like they accept my ideas as well. It's just different. Like it's a big Desi Trill is a big platform, but at the same time, you'll be surprised to see how joint and how everyone is easily communicating to each other, and that's the best part of it, and that's why I guess we're growing as well.
Bro, because y'all got like a real culture, right? Like
Mhm.
again, like they all, like Shabs, Dan, right? Tassa,
Mm,
like they all just you,
mm,
right? Like they just you down the
exactly,
line, right? They're not some
exactly.
like corporate suit that just like
That's the main
yo,
part,
they're not
man.
just some corporate suit that's just trying to hit a lick off of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they you, right? And I think that's so important because then like you truly align, right? It's like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
when I speak to you, I don't gotta decipher that shit in my head. Like what you're
Mm,
saying is exactly how it is, right?
exactly.
Like and I think that and like again, like what you're saying, like how it like lined up for you so well, that shit is so important, right?
That's true.
Like people have so much talent and like so, but then when the business is bad or the relationship is bad,
Mm,
it's a hindrance to the art too.
yeah,
Because you
that's
like
true.
you can't focus like, oh, I'm an
Yeah,
artist,
you'll
right?
be
It's like,
stuck in your
is
head.
this person selling me something?
Mm,
Annoying, right? And it's
yeah.
like you can't really be in a creative flow state when you're
Mm,
in your own head thinking about those things, right?
that's true.
And like those guys having again, like of course, like the experience that they have,
Mm-hmm.
like they've, you know what I'm saying? Like they've been in your like Shabs has been in your shoes, right? Like work
Mm-hmm.
like everybody has an understanding of what
Mm,
you're going through mentally. And
mm,
that's important,
that's true.
right? Because when you talk about like the mental aspect of it, it's like, yo,
Mm,
your friends even, right?
mm,
Your parents even, they might not understand what it really is
that's
feeling
true.
like right now.
Sometimes, yeah.
Like you can describe like, yo, the situations and stuff that
Mm-hmm.
you're in, but can they really understand like what it feels like where it's like, yo, I got
Mm-hmm.
pressure of people, I gotta create,
Mm-hmm.
there's so many things, right?
Yeah, that's true. My parents sometimes like now they're curious about everything because, and I love it. My dad
Amazing.
like I never expected, never like in my life expected that I would be on a rap, like I would be rapping, and my dad would be like, "Oh, I love that your track." But now every track I made, my dad would be is always excited. Yeah, there's a favorite track with my dad. It's one of my Punjabi song that is unreleased. So it's my dad's favorite track. Like he always listen to it randomly. He just tell me he even plays it to some of his friends as well. It's a crazy thing. Like it's a big that's the biggest achievement for me. That my parents know what I'm doing, and they're happy about it, and I'm happy as well.
Bro.
So
Bro,
that's
that shit
that's
is
biggest for
powerful.
me.
That shit is powerful, right?
Yeah.
Like you realize like none of it after that
Hmm.
matters.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
I like wait for that day. I'm like, yo, after that, like none of that shit like matters. Like to
Mm,
me, like when people ask like, yo, is there like a money goal? Is that like it's
mm,
like, yo, my dad is like hard on me too, right?
mhm.
Like I'm sure you know what I'm saying? Like my dad comes from an old school, like,
Yeah.
background. The day I can hear like or feel, not even hear, the
Mm,
day I feel like my dad is truly proud of
mm,
what I've done,
mhm,
right? Like that's when I'll be like, you know what? Like none of
mhm.
everything after this is extra,
Yeah.
right? Because here, this was it, right? Like this
I
was what I worked to.
I remember there's one day my dad just came up to my room, and uh, my dad's sister, like she stays in London, so she randomly just like we're families, but no one really relatives. It's not every day you talk to them. So my dad's sister randomly just sent a link of one of my video that went viral on TikTok, and I'm not even on TikTok because I'm in India. So
Yeah,
India, there's
no TikTok.
all
Yeah,
those things. So my dad was like, he was so happy, that I was like, that's happiness for me because he was proud. That is, and they don't really know. I mean, like my relatives, they don't really know much about it. But since then, they were like, I saw this video. This is Sam, TikTok. It was one of the interview I did on pop shift, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So that's what they saw, and there were some clips of videos merged in it as well. So they were very happy, and they sent it to my dad. And my dad was so happy. He said, "Oh, my sister just sent this," and it was showing me. And
Because that
I
to
was
them
like,
is the
"Damn."
biggest flex. I was like, their
Yeah.
siblings being like, "Yo, that's your son." It's like, yes, right?
I was
Like I remember like being in school, right, and like all the parents being like, "Yo, like my son got this in school," right? But that's like the ultimate version of it. It's like,
Exactly.
damn, my sister sent me a reel that did like 500,000 views
Yeah.
about you. Oh,
Exactly.
I know your dad is like talking shit in the group chat all the time. It's like, yo, y'all heard Sammy's new song over here? Like, nah, I love that,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
No, bro, it was so fucking great meeting you, bro.
Yeah,
like
same here, brother.
I've been a
Thanks for having
fan
me.
for a minute. You've like reposted stuff from ours, right? Like, and I truly appreciate
For
that,
sure,
right?
bro?
Bro.
Really, I love what you're doing for the culture as well,
Bro, appreciate
Yeah.
you. Like, and yo, like next time, like, yo, we as I always say, anybody who do this, yo, we family now. Yo.
For sure, bro.
New York,
for
you
sure.
hit anytime, bro. Hit me
100.
because I told Dan and Shabz, I was like, yo, when I go to the UK, I'm hitting y'all because I don't know anybody out
And you
there.
come
Right?
to India as well, bro.
Yo,
You should come,
no, bro, absolutely, yo,
For sure, bro.
appreciate you, G.
Yeah, bro.
Thank
you, bro.
y'all. Yo, thank y'all for listening. Peace. Yo, thank you, brother.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, it was so much fun doing it.